Okay, this is a MAYTAG commercial technology washer. The issue I'm having is low flow. The cycles aren't completing because it's not filling up with water by the time that the timer expires, so it doesn't fill up fast enough basically. I watched a couple videos and it cited that there was an issue with the fill valve, which I assumed was correct. It was not filling quickly, and I followed the instructions of some other videos. It basically said to take this back piece off, which I did not do what they said. I did not take the water line loose. I just wanted to be able to get in there. I figured that I could probably take it apart far enough to get in there, and I was correct just to test it. So I took the few screws off the back piece, removed that. Then I had to remove this control panel, and I followed somebody else's instructions, and they said to use a butter knife, which they were correct. I tried jamming a screwdriver under there and it did not work. So what you have to do is where this thing sits down, basically jam the butter knife under there. It's thin, it's slick, and you have to press on the clip that's under there and compress it. So this clip, when you press the butter knife under, it will give that a squeeze, loosen that up, and you can both press with the butter knife to press each side. I did it one at a time, so it presses in, and you can both lift and press with the butter knife, and it'll lift those out. Then you can see you've got some catches. Then you slide this thing forward and it comes right off. So no big deal. I didn't have to take it completely apart or go to the inside. It was pretty easy actually. So what I did different than everybody else, effectively this valve assembly, the fill valve assembly, needs to be replaced. The hot and cold valves are not working correctly. I guess the coil's worn out or something. Valve's not opening all the way. I don't know. I'm not worried about that. So what I figured to do, and again watched another video, and guy showed how to go through and get into the troubleshooting steps or whatever. That you can get the test mode, whatever it is. So to get into it, you just press any three buttons 3 times in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 within 8 seconds. And once it gets into that mode, then press the second button you pressed, and it goes into the troubleshooting mode, test mode, and then you can use temperature and soil level to go up and down through the different settings. I don't have the instructions, so I don't know what everyone is. The main ones were for the valves. 000 is the lid lock, which is something that failed in the past that I had to replace. I can't remember if 1 is the hot or the cold, but basically 1 and 2 are hot and cold. I'm not sure which one's which. And then 5 and 6 are the oxy and fabric softener valves. Well, when I tested those, 5 and 6, those 2 valves filled very quickly. So of course I was thinking, well, I wish I could swap those out. So that's what I did. I basically took and swapped these plugs. It's kind of a stretch, but you can take some of the wires loose from these little catches, and I made it work. So I swapped these 2. This is on, what is it, looks like the cold side. I think that's correct. Doesn't really matter. But these 2 swapped. It's on the hot or cold side together. And then I swapped these 2. Basically, the ones on the left, swap them. The ones on the right, swap them. And of course, whenever you trigger, now, if you, I don't know if you can hear this, but I'll give it a shot. Can you hear that? It's pretty quiet. I can barely hear any water going. Go to the other valve. These are the original hot and cold valves, but I got them swapped now. Super quiet. I don't know if you can hear that. All right, so we can go to the valves that were the oxy valve, fabric softener valve that I got swapped. Whoops. You can hear that? A lot of water flowing. Same thing on the other valve. A lot of water flowing. I don't know if you can hear that. Alright, so basically I swapped them out so that whenever it calls for hot water, it's using a different valve now. Doesn't matter. Same thing with cold. It's using a different valve. Doesn't matter. It's using the good valve. Basically, there's two valves on here, 2 coils that never get used, and apparently the hot and cold wear out. So I just swapped them. So now when it calls for hot, it'll use the other valve, and that's fine because it's effectively new because it never got used. Same thing for cold. So, and sorry, I can't remember which one's which. You can look that up somewhere else. But anyway, this should be an easy fix, save you some cash. I certainly didn't want to have to buy it.